It is officially confirmed. Millions of people on Social Security benefits will be receiving a bigger amount of money. So Social Security retirees are facing some big financial changes in 2022. Some of these changes will really help the millions of seniors that are currently receiving Social Security beneficiaries. And I know many of you are concerned about whether Social Security benefits will be available when you are ready to retire. Well, the bad news is that the Social Security Trust Fund is struggling financially. The agency has said it could reach its depletion date in about 12 years, but that does not mean it will completely run dry of money. This is because the SSA, the Social Security Administration, pulls in money for the Social Security Trust through the Federal Insurance Contributions Act and the Self-Employment Contributions Act. And since the trust is funded through payroll taxes, it is constantly being paid into and generating new revenue. And while it will not go broke, the Social Security Administration said it could be forced to cut benefits significantly for retirees and other beneficiaries if Congress does not find a solution to this. So as the Social Security Administration approaches its forecasted depletion date, it outlines several factors that make it necessary to cut benefits or raise taxes in order to keep the program going. In fact, some factors are even accelerating the process to reach the date sooner than previously expected. In 2020, the crisis spread across the country, resulting in millions of Americans leaving the workforce as businesses were forced to close. According to government data, the unemployment rate peaked at 14.8% in April 2020 before dropping back down to 4.8% in September. With so many Americans out of work, income taxes declined, and the SSA said it lost a significant amount of tax revenue funding. This prompted the administration to move the fund's depletion date up 1 year earlier than previously expected. So, everybody, congressional Democrats recently introduced a bill that aims to solve some of these issues. Among other items, it would increase the tax limit subject to Social Security taxes to around $400,000 versus today's $142,000. It would also push a date that the SSA would need to cut benefits to 2038, giving Congress more time to come up with a permanent solution. So in 2021, the average monthly Social Security benefit came out to just $1,565, after a 5.9% COLA scheduled to go into effect this year. The average benefit will rise to about $1,657 according to the administration. This means that the average couple could see roughly $3,000 a month. The roughly $100 increase comes after a year of unprecedented inflation. Over the past 12 months, prices have increased 6% in nearly all major sectors, and especially important for seniors. In every major grocery store category, COLA increases in the past couple of years have been around 1 to 1.3%. This year's adjustment is one of the highest COLA jumps in decades, and this is actually good news for so many of you. Forbes estimates, everybody, that the increase in benefits will benefit nearly 62 million Americans who received the Social Security benefits in 2022. The SSA estimates that increased payments to SSI beneficiaries will reach approximately 8 million people this year. And for those who receive SSI, this amount is expected to increase to around $821 in 2022. So the SSA estimates that increased payments to SSI beneficiaries will reach approximately 8 million people this year. For those who receive SSI, this amount is expected to increase to $821 in 2022, up from $794 per month in 2021. According to Forbes, the $47 increase will especially benefit the nearly 3 million Americans who receive both Social Security and SSI benefits together. So if you receive both SSI and regular Social Security payments in 2022, this can mean nearly a $2,500 per month increase. And this is going to be a very big increase for monthly benefits. Everybody, if you have any more questions about the fourth stimulus check, leave them in the comments down below, and I'll do my very best in answering them. And I personally believe that President Biden should do something about this, and that he must do a better job in helping out the American people, as more stimulus is needed all across the nation.
Yes, ma'am.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On that legislation by Congressman Meeks, once it's done and when it's ready, do you plan to fast track that, bring it straight to the House floor, possibly skipping markup? And then I just wonder if you can respond. We heard some comments from Senator Joe Manchin this week saying that Build Back Better is dead. I know in your previous press conference you referenced possibly that it could be renamed or rebranded, taking...
Well, you got a couple different questions there. Before you go on to a third, let me address the first two.
Keep going.
First, well, we're going to be briefed. Mr. Meeks will be presiding on our side at the briefing, the Ukraine briefing, and we want to move quickly with these. Now, that'll be up to the chairman as to the process and the rest. But we want to be as close to the Senate bill as possible so there's no delay in getting something to the president's desk. The second part is I'm never giving up on BBB. There's so much in there that is really important in terms of child tax credit, in terms of family health care for families, that is to say, not just children, but seniors or siblings with disabilities and the rest, with universal pre-K. This is it's about lowering cost for the American people, lowering the cost of health care, lowering the cost of child care, lowering the cost of family care, lowering the cost of education at the pre-K level, and we must get something done. And of course, a very important part of it is what we're doing about the climate crisis. And there are plenty of things in there where I think that we can find common ground. So I'm not giving up on the PPP.
Potentially, I know you mentioned it could possibly remain.
That's incidental. I mean, what's important is what's in the legislation. Lowers cost, increases pay, and is completely paid for. So one other thing about it is when we talk about inflation, people say, oh, you're spending money on this or that. This is completely paid for. Not only is it paid for, it will, in fact,
Thank my distinguished colleagues with the DPCC for their presentation. Questions?
Mr. Chair, just on Build Back Better, yesterday Senator Manchin said that it was effectively dead. So how frustrated are you as House Democrats since you got the ball to the other side of the field, and are you worried that it could be dead the longer this drags on?
We're not frustrated. I don't believe that Build Back Better is dead. The Senate will have to work through its dynamics. We're going to continue to focus right now in the House on making sure that we pass the America Competes Act, which is going to address the supply chain issues that we're confronting right now, which has caused some inflationary issues that the American people are dealing with. I'm hopeful that our Republican colleagues will actually join us in this effort, and instead of simply talking the talk, that they'll walk the walk. The Senate dynamics will work itself out, but I think right in front of us right now is the American Competes Act. That is an important step forward for everyday Americans and the American people.
I mean, as far as the policy and communications team are concerned, can you speak to what that means for your messaging? Do you talk about it? Do you not talk about it?
Democrats will continue to deliver for the people.
Thank you. Good morning. So obviously the administration has announced that it's forward deploying many of these troops in Romania and other places in Eastern Europe here.